At Bengal College of Engineering and Technology, and I feel honored to be the host of today's session, which is Faculty Development Program organized by Entrepreneurship Development Cell and Institute Innovation Council (BCET). It's wonderful to see so many esteemed faculty members and guests gathered here, ready to share ideas and learn together. Firstly, I'd like to extend a warm welcome on behalf of our college and to all of you. This program was designed to help us grow as a community, to exchange knowledge, and to develop new skills that will benefit both educators and students alike. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our respected director, sir, our principal, sir, for their invaluable guidance and support in organizing this event. Without their dedication, this gathering wouldn't be possible. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our session chair, Mr. S.K. Abdul Rahim Shah, HOD of CSE Department. We are honored to have him here to guide us through today's discussion. Moving on to our session, the topic is metaverse. I'm delighted to introduce our speaker, Dr. Reema Thereja ma'am. Dr. Reema Thereja ma'am is a teaching faculty in the Department of Computer Science, University of Delhi. In her 17 years of teaching experience, she has taught several courses like BA, BSc, MSc, BBA, MBA, BCA, MCA. She has authored several books in computer science, and her books have been well accepted across the globe. She has published more than 20 research papers in international journals of repute. She also launched a free mobile app, Zuma, for Apple as well as Android devices to promote incentive based learning through quizzing. Users can now earn while they learn. Besides being an author, she is an eminent speaker. Dr. Thureja ma'am has conducted several faculty development programs, seminars, webinars, and students' workshop in India and US. She was also invited as a speaker for the Global Virtual Summit in New York. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Reema Thereja ma'am as she shared their her expertise on this topic. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Santanu sir, for giving me this opportunity to be here amongst all of you, and it's an honor being here. I really thank the college for such an event, and I am sure it will be very helpful. Thank you, Abdul sir. So I'm really sorry for this delay, and we'll quickly get into metaverse. Actually, this is the buzzword today. Um, just a minute, I'll just share my screen. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So before we start into metaverse, let's get a glimpse of what it is. I'll just quickly show you. See. Right. So basically what we see here is if two colleagues want to talk to each other, want to interact with each other, and they're miles apart, right? They need not be together, but if they want to interact, they can just get into the metaverse. Basically, they're not getting into the metaverse, they're avatars, 3D avatars get into the metaverse, and they sit together and they talk to each other as if they were sitting just next to each other. So that is just to start a glimpse, to have a glimpse of what metaverse is. See, if whatever we talk is less today, because we cannot imagine what will the future be in metaverse. Talk about for 10 years down the line, were you we could never imagine that our WhatsApp DP, Facebook profile picture, or your Instagram profile ID would matter to us so much today. And really, we all are crazy, right? How we are looking to the world, how we are presenting ourselves. So, and our parents at that time would have called us mad if we were thinking so much about how we are looking in our profile picture. Same is the case today. We are not able to perceive how it would be 10 years down the line when we will be talking about and we will be getting into metaverse. We are so obsessed about one display picture. Just imagine how obsessive you would be when everything is ours. There are people who have already bought Taj Mahal, right? So this is just the beginning of the craziness I'm talking about. So talking about the technology, we started with web 1.0, where whatever we had was read only. There were websites which used to give us information, and we as a user were just reading that information and using it. But when web 2.0 came, that is the current era, where we can post some blog, we have Facebook, we have so many social media websites, and we can post our reviews, we can post our comments. So we are not just reading, we are also writing. But when we talk about web 3.0, where metaverse lies, is where we can read, where we can write, and where we can interact. Then in web 1.0, we had our own content and we used to upload it, and the others can use it. But web 2.0, it's a shared content, because I post something, the other user will read it and comment on it. So it's a shared content. Then he or she will comment and then I will reply. So we are sharing the content, right? But here we have a consolidated content. What does it mean? Like the two you we the video just we just saw, there were two people. They were having their metaverse, and they collaborated with each other to get into the common metaverse and sit in it. So it's a consolidated event, content, right? Because interaction can take place when there is more than one person, right? So then web 1.0 was visual and interactive. You ask something, you get that answer. But here web 2.0 mein, you can program with javascript, with ajax. You could program, you can uh, for example, the moment we type something, we get information about it. Like Google Pay, when you start searching, you write some keywords, then you get some suggestions. So that is a programmable web. But when you talk about web 3.0, it's a linked data web. We all have metaverse, we can get into each other's metaverse. We'll see how what I'm talking about, because I know it's not clear at this stage. So in web 1.0, we had home pages. In web 2.0, we have wikis and blogs. But in web 3.0, we have live streams. Now, web 1.0, we have web pages, then we have web service endpoint, where one is server, when one is client, and anybody. And these things, this client and servers could switch their roles. But when we talk about metaverse or web 3.0, we talk about data spaces. Web 1.0, how we analyze, how what metrics we used to have to find out the performance of a particular website. We used to had the page views. If I have more page views, that means more people are liking the content that I've shared. And in web 2.0, we have cost per click. So if you see, if you're scrolling through the Instagram, for example, if an advertisement is displayed, you click on that ad, that means that content is able to capture your attention. But when we talk about web 3.0, we talk about user engagement, how much time you spend there in metaverse. So it's basically an illusionary which virtual world where we get into. So there are other differences which will be clear when, for example, in web 1.0, we talk about a particular company is displaying the information. But in web 2.0, there's a community sharing content. But web 3.0, there are individuals creating content and then sharing with each other. Web 1.0, we have directories. Web 2.0, we are tagging the users as we do in Facebook and Instagram. And here, web 3.0, we're talking about user behavior. In Web 1.0, we had file and web servers. Here we have instant messaging. And Web 3.0, we talk about ontologies, knowledge bases. We have structured formats, right? Um, so let's see what we are talking here will now be clear. So this is just theoretical part. So as we see, 1990s, the Web 1.0 started. When it came to, after a decade, we had Web 2.0 already there. And when we talk about when crossing 2020, now we are talking about blockchains, and we are talking about virtual worlds in terms of metaverse. Actually, metaverse is still evolving. Getting into definition of metaverse, it's a network of 3D virtual worlds. So it's a three-dimensional virtual world which are connected. They enable people to interact with each other in real time, regardless of where they may be physically located. So the term metaverse in itself means beyond the universe, post reality universe, which does not even exist in the real world. And it uses technologies like AR and VR, right? Yes. Give me a I'm sorry. Uh, I hope this is clear. Yeah, right. So it's a mix of technologies like AR, VR. What do we mean by AR and VR? We'll also look into this. And just to tell you, the Australian Open took place in 2022. That's very recent. Even the music concert shows, the sports events are all, marriages are now all taking place in metaverse. So here is a glimpse of what we mean by virtual reality. We have all seen this in malls where we wear these glasses and we get immersed into a different world. Why is it called virtual reality? Because we are totally cut from the real world. We get into a virtual world and we think that this is what. I'm sorry. So we have these seats, and the moment we get put those glasses, we get into another world. See, they're thinking that they're in this world. They're totally cut off from the reality. So there are enough musical effects, sound effects are there that look so genuine, right? So this is virtual reality. We are when we are totally cut off from the real world. And if we see augmented reality and virtual reality, the market size is increasing. How from 2022 to 2032. See, right from 22 to 32, where this market size goes from $38 to $372. And here, see, there here in the initial years we see that there's marginal jump, but when we compare these 10 years, it's a remarkable jump. So, and in fact, if you all know that the government recently, I think last month only, they said, our Indian government said that like we have IITs for engineering and technology, we have a NIFT for fashion designing. Similarly, there'll be new institutions set up where we will have courses only related to graphics, AR, VR, because that is the future. So, looking into the market size that these technologies are going to capture, such decisions are being taken today. Like now, we let's see what AR is. AR means augmented reality. When we say augmented reality, we means something that adds to the reality.
Augmented reality is an enhanced version of the real physical world that is achieved through the use of digital visual augmented reality. Its ability for students to run scientific and mathematical simulations in 3D space and planet to see how those conditions affect its ability. That means customers can see how appliances and furniture look in their homes. In this scenario, customers could quickly change types of appliances and furniture for buying them. This is to ensure that the products or experiences online by allowing customers to see how a product might look on them. For example, customers can see how it's projected to hit 10 billion, or another way to use augmented and smart mirrors displays that place information and enhance sight in low light conditions or serve as a teleprompter for speaking events. Eventually, AR lens and AR glasses listens software. It could listen to all of your conversations, read your emails, monitor your blood possible. The metaverse refers to a conversion to physical rather than one that you're merely looking at. It will impact every industry in existence. Number six, and guide you toward a destination in a large airport, an airport parking lot. And you can follow an AR created trail on the ground, perhaps with consideration to physical help patients understand the benefits and risks of certain medications and procedures, but fears, and even the slightest advantage can lead to huge sales. If a salesperson is trying to gain the attention of doctors towards a new medication, they can use virtual simulations to demonstrate the positive effects of the drug. Number 8, automotive industry. AR heads-up displays can help drivers process information that enhances the view of roads. This type of display can make drivers aware of potential of having to go to a dealership. Customers can also see what the virtual car looks accomplished with a greater degree of accuracy and realism using this type of data. It seems likely that data from other sports such
So just to summarize, what we have seen is that AR is augmented reality means it does not cuts us from the reality, it only augments, it only adds something to the reality. For example, we use Snapchat filters, right? Our face is the same, but you can add accessories on your face, you can change the dress you're wearing, you can change the hairstyle that you have. So that is an example of an augmented reality. Okay, then we had seen the Pokemon. In the Pokemon game, the users used to see a Pokemon in the real world, although it does not existed. So it added a creature in the real world. So that's an example of augmented reality. And here we see these days, even for education, many augmented reality applications are being constructed. For example, dissection of a human body or a say even a frog is not allowed in biology, but to teach those dissection and the working of the inner body parts, you can just place your AR app to a skeleton, and it will show you how the digestive system work, how the heart flows, the blood flows through the heart and through the other body parts, so you can visualize even while making surgeries. uh, Instead of demonstrating on a real body, AR apps can be used to show. It will add to a reality, it will give you the details as we saw. Actually, we are also using, if you see, if you have bought some glasses on lens cart, so they'll take a picture of your face, and then you can choose a glass, and it will add that glass on your face to show how it looks on you. So you just place an app, and it will give you, suppose if you want to see, you're coming to Delhi, you are visiting Lal Killa, and you want to know the historical information, the importance, you can just place your app there, and will show you all the important points about it. So it gives you information. For example, if you are traveling in a foreign country, suppose you're traveling in Japan and you don't understand Japanese, so you can, there's a signboard, so you can place your app there, and the Google Translate would be used to translate whatever is written in Japanese to English so that you can read. And we saw that AR app was used to direct you, to tell you the path, which path to take to lead to that selected destination. So these are different applications, and these applications are increasing every day. So when we talk about the seven layers of metaverse, we have infrastructure, we talk about human interface, decentralization, spatial computing, creator economy, discovery, and experience. When we talk about infrastructure, we talk about 5G and 6G. Actually, what metaverse? See, when 4G became popular, we had so many applications. We had LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all on our mobile systems. We had Google Maps. We had even our WhatsApp started using exchanging files. Initially, when WhatsApp came, we were just it could just we could have just text messages exchanged between two users. Then finally, slowly, we could exchange files. Then emojis came. Then we had GIFs. Then we had audio call, voice call, all these things. Then we have status updates. Slowly they were added with 4G. With 5G, we will, and 6G coming into picture, we will have a lot of metaverse applications. And what it will be, we can't even imagine today. So this is just a glimpse of what all has already been done. Now they'll become widespread, and more will be added to it. So when we talk about decentralization, we'll have edge computing and blockchain computing, microservices, all these coming into pictures. With edge computing, you don't have to use the decisions would be taken on the device itself. For example, so that you can make quick decisions. You don't have to send your data to somewhere else, get it processed, and then the results coming back to you. Like for example, you cannot expect a self-driving car to collect that data and send it to a server processes that data, and the results coming back and telling you when to start and when to stop. You have to make the decisions at that node itself. So that is the scenario of edge computing. For example, blockchain, we'll talk about later in this. So spatial computing, when we talk about spatial, we are talking about space, we're talking about maps. Here, when we suppose we have again, we talk about a self-driving car, so it has to analyze the environment and take the decision. So we have to take um, geospatial information into consideration. Then when we talk about creator economy, then we talk about NFTs, bitcoins, We talk about workflows, how it goes. We talk about commerce, how we're going to earn money. Then discovery may, how do we discover others metaverse? How do you see other profiles in Instagram? We see we get recommendations, right? Similarly, we'll have ad networks for advertisements, so that will help us to discover other metaverse that are there. Then social curation, through our connected friends we will come to know, through ratings, then store. So this is how we discover new metaverses, other metaverses than ours. Then experience, we have game, social media, sports, theater, show. We can all have all these experiences in the metaverse. All these things will be clear as we go ahead with this presentation. When we talk about history of metaverse, basically it is even before we had the internet. We know that in 1992, Tim Berners-Lee proposed the World Wide Web, invented the World Wide Web with hyperlinks. But the term metaverse was first coined in 1989, right? To describe a 3D virtual space. And there was a quick innovations in this. After 89, 92, World Wide Web came into picture, and in 2003 we had Second Life. It's an online virtual world. You can all experience it. You can all log into this website and see how it looks to get a glimpse of what metaverse was in 2003. I'm sure none of us had explored it before. Then in 2006, we had Roblox, and it's an online platform that allows users to create and share games with others. 2009, Bitcoin, the world's first successful cryptocurrency and blockchain, was created. So it's there in 2009, but we had just started using it very recently, maybe in the last 4 5 years. Right then, in 2011, there was a science fiction novel, Ready Player One, introduced by people to virtual reality. Then in 2014, Facebook acquires virtual reality hardware and platform. Then 2015, Decentraland was created. 2016, we had the Pokemon Go. 2017, so see, now the developments are coming very fast. The multiplayer games and social hub Fortnite is released. Then 2018, virtual reality game training, the Axe F Infinity was introduced. 2021, Microsoft unveils Mesh. So Microsoft also jumps into this, and then 2021, Mark Zuckerberg says Facebook, and you know that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp are now branded under the company Meta, all owned by Mark Zuckerberg. There's so many novels and movies which talk about metaverse, and these are coming from 1982. We see this movie, Tron, and here 1984 this is the first novel which talked about metaverse. And if you see the metaverse market in Asia only, we're not talking about US, and we're not talking about the global market, from 2020, see the remarkable jump. It just a matter of 10 years, and we are already here in 24, right? So the future lies in metaverse. This is what we want to show here with this graph, and these devices are already there. Although we are still here in the metaverse graph, not significant achievement from 20 to 24 tak, but still we have so many devices. When we talk about, see, I'm going very fast with the theory because I want to tell much more about other things here. When we talk about positives and negatives, let's talk about the positive things first. So metaverse gives equal access to life, like everybody can experience. For example, if there is a show, if Diljit Doshan comes to India, the ticket goes in black, it goes 60,000, 1 lakh per ticket, and not all of us can afford to go there physically. But if he or she if an artist has a concert in metaverse, the tickets would be comparatively less cheaper, and we can go and enjoy as if we are enjoying in the physical world. Then interaction using more accurate virtual representation. So interactions are more. So we all are fed up with this Google Meets and Facebook, where we are not able to see each other. We're not able to interact with each other. Just imagine how good it would be if all our avatars are sitting together, and then one is presenting and the other is. Physical meetings are always better than online meetings. So with metaverse, it is a hybrid meeting. For example, You are there in the virtual world, but you are interacting with each other as if you are in a physical world, right? So it's the next level of meetings that we have online. Shared virtual experiences in real time with families and friends, work collaborations, then more efficient testing and training sessions. Because as I said, कि physical में we meetings में we can give better training sessions. The new business opportunities to connect and engage and interact with the customers, right? Again, you can convince the customer when you are sitting together rather than just having phone calls or through web. But there are also some downsides of metaverse. Let's see into that. Limited access for some users who struggle with fully immersed experiences. Like, especially in a country like India, when we do not have internet access in the remote areas, or even if they have very poor internet access. So we cannot talk about metaverse there. So not every it's not an inclusive technology as of now. Then include increased costs for individual buying the technologies need to participate, because of course you need to have these devices as we saw, and these are costly devices, right? Not everybody can afford. More business investments necessary to attain metaverse objectives. Likelihood of bad behavior and privacy violations, because when everybody is going in there in the world, you have a police, you have a law and order in the real world. But what about in physical world or virtual world? Is a question mark. Right, then in security concerns, potential points of compromise, metaverse addictiveness for those looking into escape reality. So this will also lead to some psychological problems. For example, now that we have apps like Instagram, so people are so much addicted to it. They can throughout the day they're sitting with their mobile phones, right? But when we talk about metaverse, so its addictiveness will further increase to health issues. Then challenges, of course, there is security, privacy concerns, equal access as we talked. Then governance, because who is going to be the police in the metaverse? It's a virtual world, and where no government has say. So these are the roadblocks of this technology. You can just give have a quick uh, go through this. And these challenges can also be solutions. For example, if security is a challenge, when we are designing a solution, we developing robust security protocols, then ensuring data integrity. This can be done using blockchain. That is why metaverse, AI, and blockchain are relatable technologies. So one complements the other. We all know that blockchain is very is the de facto today for secure when it comes to security, because nobody can once a block is created, nobody can modify it, nobody can change it, and there are always timestamps. Then we can use encryption for privacy. The current Web 2 ad based economy has privacy standards that can be used, developing strong user authentication. And we can use biometric verifications for this. Then, for inequality, we can have allowing for easier access, physical barriers. के लिए, then there'll be VR headsets are continuously being streamlined as the technology. See, when the technology will grow, the hardware will also get cheaper. Then reducing cost for the entries, encouraging include so that we encourage inclusion. You can just have a look at this, and then we'll go to the next slide. So how can we use AI in a metaverse for precise avatar creation? Now there are several websites and they allow you to create your avatar for free also. But how accurate that avatar is, we can make an accurate avatar using AI. Right, then we can have digital humans created using AI again. Then multilingual accessibility, because you need to when you need to interact, then NLP will be used, to understand what the other person is saying. So in that case again, AI comes for help. Now blockchain, we discussed about blockchain. Let's have an introduction about it, what it is. So blockchain is it's a chain of blocks, right? And it is a shared immutable ledger that facilitates process of recording transactions and tracking assets in a business network. We'll see how. So when we talk about distributed ledger technology, so distributed means all network participants have a copy of the ledger. Because it's distributed, So that ledger, that in blockchain, is not there with one individual, it is there with multiple participants. It is immutable. When we say immutable, means it is irreversible and it cannot be changed. It is timestamps, means whenever a transaction occurs, its date and time is recorded, and this time and record date can also not be changed. Unanimous. All network participants agree to the validity of each record. So it's a unanimous decision, not taken by an individual. Anonymous, the identity of participants is either anonymous or pseudonymous. You won't, nobody will reveal with whom the blockchain is, who is maintaining it, right? And it's secure because it's encrypted, and it's a programmable. You, for example, we'll see how a smart contract is a programmable. If you see this slide, so here a new transaction is entered, and this is a blockchain already there. So it's a blockchain, and this blockchain is there with not just one participant; it will be there with multiple participants, right? Suppose a new transaction, and see, if you read this transaction. So this is a new transaction. Here, all these three participants have a copy of blockchain. The transaction is then transmitted to the network of peer-to-peer computers. So we are saying peer-to-peer computers because it's not a client-server model. All these three computers are equally capable. So this new transaction is sent to all these computers in the network. The network of computers solves the equation to confirm the valid. All these three computers will now validate this transaction. And once validated, it will be added in the blockchain, right? Now once this new transaction is now added in the blockchain, and these blocks are then chained together, creating a long history of transactions that are permanent, right? So this new transaction comes, its validity is checked by all the net peer computers, and then once it is validated, it will be added in the blockchain. So let's get into so we've seen this, what a blockchain is, and we have seen how when a new transaction occurs, how a new transaction is added into the block. So let's see, while every bitcoin is, now let's understand the difference these are the terms we will be frequently using when we talk about metaverse: bitcoins and NFTs. So while every bitcoin is identical, identical means same, fungible token or NFT are unique. So what is the difference? See, every currency note we have, a 10 rupee note is identical, same, whether you have or whether I have. So every Bitcoin, the current cryptocurrency, is same. But NFT is different. What is NFT? NFT is a digital asset. For example, if you make a drawing and you convert it into NFT, it's a non fungible token. And I also make a piece of art, I also make a drawing and convert it into NFT. These two NFTs will be different, they are unique. So this is the difference between cryptocurrency and an NFT, right? Right, then these tokens can be bought and sold on second hand market. For example, see, if the value of 10 rupee note, whether I have or whether you have, it's the same, and we can go into the market, give this 10 rupee note and get some product or service, right? But uh, when we talk about NFTs, they can be bought and sold on second hand marketplaces. For example, it's like a barter system: you give me this, I give you that, right? So third, other use cases include digitizing our identities and proving ownership of things like real estate. We'll see how. NFTs are ideal for creating digital versions of collectible like art, trading cards, music. You have some piece of writing, you can create an NFT, right? Then NFTs are like plane tickets. They all look the same, but each has a different seat and destination. So NFTs are unique, but your cryptocurrencies are identical. So here we see the tabular difference. Cryptocurrency is functionally a token that is created on a blockchain to signify unit of value, while an NFT is a token on blockchain enabling ownership of a unique digital. Suppose I make a drawing, I make a piece of art, and I create an NFT. So it's, I have an ownership. It's a unique digital asset. But when we talk about a cryptocurrency, It signifies a unit of value. It is not unique, but it is has a unit of value. So NFTs, each unit is unique, non-fungible. Crypto, each unit is interchangeable. Fungible, that is, it is fungible. I can, it has the same unit, na? So I can give it, easily exchange it. Represent ownership of digital assets. When I have an NFT, I have that ownership of digital asset. But if I have a crypto, it's just a means of exchange. I have a 10 rupee note, it's just a means of exchange. I don't own that note. Okay? Then in NFT, their value is purely economic. Crypto, it has both economic as non-economic value. So when we talk about fungible tokens, we have bitcoins, mana, sand. These are all cryptocurrencies. But when I talk about non-fungible, we have cryptokitties, we have Decentraland variables, the sandbox land. These are example of, suppose if you have bought a piece of land, okay, so it's your asset. It is unique. If I also buy a land somewhere else, so that is all, it looks same but it is still unique because your land is different and my land is different. So if you purchase a digital, if you have a digital asset, that is a NFT, right? If you have a variable, for example, if you have a piece of dress, if you have a piece of shoes, and I also have a pair of shoes or if a dress, so that is also different. Although they fall in the same category but they are different. So what are cryptokitties? Cryptokitties is the, it was a game was built on Ethereum. So so you have two different cats, and then they are we create a new cat from the existing cat, so they are different. And the new hybrid cat made from these two cats have more features. So because it's a digital asset, it's an NFT. So, what is sandbox and Decentraland? These are, we actually, there is not just one metaverse. There are several metaverses, and even you can create one. So these are two popular metaverses. One is sandbox and one is Decentraland. So if you talk about history, Decentraland was released to public in 2020 after having its initial coin offering in 2017. Sandbox came and a year later. It came in 2021. So percentage of land. Decentraland has 90,601 pieces of land, and Sandbox has more pieces of land. It has 1,66,464 pieces of land. For example, if the government says we are going to build uh, a new city, so what it will do, it will cut plots, and customers can go and buy that plots, right? Similarly, we have land in this metaverse. We have 90,601 pieces of land, and here we have 1,66,000 pieces of land. The main token here is mana. This is the digital currency here, and in sandbox we use sand. So this is the currency of this sandbox. Price, if we see, 0.86 per token with a market cap of almost 1.6 billion. Here the currency, it per token, the value is $1.07. So what you see, if I buy this currency, I can sell it for dollars. For example, if I had say 100 manas, I can sell it for $86. So that is why people are buying digital currencies, so that they can sell and get back dollars. So decentralization, Decentraland is controlled by and governed by DAO, Decentralized Authorization Organization, being completely decentralized. The sandbox is controlled by a single company. Therefore, it is highly centralized, right? So this is how they differ in their centralization. Who is maintaining it? So if you some people have the habit of, I mean, they like buying digital currencies. So this is the website. You can here buy and sell, and even you can check the prices of digital currencies, and you can use these currencies to buy something in the metaverse. So you can see what are the trending currencies, how much they have gained. So the ones in green have gained today, right? So you can, this is the website, you can note down, and you can buy, sell, and see. So BTC, this is the values going in red. This is the screenshot when I took, but these days it is going up. So we talked about smart contract, when we talked about programmable A blockchain is programmable. So in smart contracts is an example where we use programmable blockchain. So again, this can be used in metaverse also. That is why we are referring to this technique here. So first, identify an agreement. So both the parties involved in the agreement are contacted and they are identified. Multiple parties identify the cooperative opportunity of desired outcomes. So they give the guidelines. They set the conditions. So smart contracts are executed automatically when the conditions are met. For example, if I say I want you to make a software in say 6 months at rupees for rupees 1 lakh. So these are the conditions. Okay, the software will be delivered in 6 months and the price would be 1 lakh. So you program these conditions. So and you code this. A computer program is written for this. You code this business logic, and you encrypt it and put it in the blockchain. So when after 6 months, the execution will automatically take place. The funds would be from one party. The funds would be deducted and added to the other party, and provided the other party gives the software to the first party. So execution and processing. The code is executed and outcomes are memorialized. Then network updates, and once this smart contract is executed, everybody is notified that this work is done. Because as we said, blockchain is not there on just one computer, it's distributed. So all the parties are informed. You can just read through it and before we go to the next slide. Right. So example use cases. Smart contracts provide utility to other contract. For example, consider a smart contract that transfers funds to party A after 10 days. After 10 days, the above mentioned smart contract will execute another smart contract which will check if the required funds are available at the source account. Then they facilitate the implementation of multi-signature accounts in which the assets are transferred only when a certain percentage of people agree to do so. For example, there's a smart contract. So if for example, two-third majority of the people say yes, this work is done, then the smart contract will be executed. So smart contracts can map legal obligations into an automated process. So everything is automated. You don't need a third party to intervene. For example, when we take money and lend money, we need a third party to take the responsibility. So here, this responsibility is taken by the smart contract. So if smart contracts are implemented correctly and provide a greater degree of contractual security. Applications, we see them in real estate. So reduce money pay to the middlemen. So middlemen are not required here, and distribute between parties actually involved. For example, a smart contract to transfer ownership of an apartment once a certain amount of resources have been transferred to the seller's amount. Vehicle ownership, music industry, government elections, management, and healthcare. In all these places, we can use smart contracts. For example, if you create music, you have that ownership. You can create NFT. You can make it a digital because you can record it and then you can sell it. Many times it happens that we freely download music from the websites, and so what happens here in this case, we download it for free. So the royalty amount does not go to the singer who has worked so hard. So in here we can have a smart contracts. The moment you download, your amount would be credited to the singers or the owner's account. So basically it will bring transparencies. Much such smart cards will are there to bring transparency into the system. Then government elections, we know we often complain that EVMs are hacked and the procedure was not transparent, and ballot papers were changed. So in that case, we can have a blockchain of it would be very hard to decrypt the voter address, and the voter details would not be could be stored as a blockchain in the block that could not be changed and that cannot be seen by others. So whatever transaction is taking place uh, is in the encrypted form. Then we can have it in management and even in healthcare. For example, if the patient gets treated, the money had to be paid to the hospital before the discharge. Right? You can just quickly have a look at these applications line by line, and So, when we talk about software tools to create metaverse applications, basically today everybody can create a metaverse application. There are two ways. One way is to code, and just to my surprise, and you would be surprised, the coding is very easy. It's just like simple HTML coding that we do. It's as simple as that. And there are tools also which are no code tools where you don't have to do any coding, so that anybody, even a non computer science professional, um, can create a metaverse application using no code tools. For some of these tools are Unity, Blender, Unreal, then Amazon Sumerian, and Spark AR. You can check these tools. You can note down the names and see how easily you can make metaverse applications. And then there are also other tools like Builder, and we also have Double. I'll just show you one. Just have to go to this Double store. You can watch a video and start now, and you will have to sign in. It's very easy, very easy. uh, you can choose a name for your world metaverse. If you're creating say for car racing or something, in the simple three steps you just have to put it, and then you can choose what you can note on this website, and you can create your own metaverse without, just this is a very small video. You can watch it and see it. Had we more time, we could have looked at this. Just a minute. See. So here, if you see, you can create such a metaverse. This is just to give you a glimpse. Here, there's a virtual meeting. The participants are sitting apart. They are available online, but here their avatars are sitting together, and they're interacting, and they're holding this meeting, right? So here, uh, this is for example, when if you are there in the gym, nobody is there with you. So how many minutes can we practice alone? So here, if we have a metaverse, we feel as a superman or superwoman. We are fighting uh, with the devil. So this is how we can practice. We can exercise more. Here, n- we get bored if we are running in the same gym, we are on the same treadmill in the same environment. But see, when the glasses are there, we go to a virtual reality, we go into a metaverse, and we feel as if we are running across our jungle. We're there in a forest, and we are enjoying, and we are moving here and there. So that makes running more interesting. Or we have a coach, we have to go up. So we are having a tough competition. So you can have any kind of application in the metaverse we think of. So here, in educational purposes, the student is wearing these glasses, and when we just say, and it does not create much difference. But here the student can visualize, using metaverse. She is there in that world of planets. She's visualizing, and the planets are telling about themselves, how they're different, how they impact each other. So there's more immersive experience, which and this will help student to retain the facts for a longer time. See, if you want to create, I'll share these links. It's a very, 10 minutes, 15-minute videos, and you can learn how to create your own metaverse. Basically, we can't stay away from this technology today, because see, in 90s we were okay when we didn't have world wide web. In 2000 we could not, and today we can't live without internet for a single day. We can't imagine our lives without Google. So same way, the metaverse applications are growing at such a great speed that we cannot even imagine a life without metaverse 10 years down the lines. So you must go and see how we can create these simple applications. Then there are also videos how to use cases and investing in metaverse. So I'll share these videos with you in the future of crypto in India and how can we invest in metaverse. So I'll also share with you 10 ways in which we can earn through metaverse. We can create our own art, we can create our graphics, images we can create our animations and sell it on metaverse. There is a website, OpenSea. This is the website name, and here you can see these are the when we talk about art, even if you're not good at drawing, you are good at photography, so you can click some wonderful pictures and sell it on this website. So here if you go to this website, I'll show you the largest NFT marketplace. So suppose you have taken a photograph. I will not log in. Suppose you have taken a photograph, you created a animation, so you can sell it here, right? Suppose these click on this. It was created in March 2023. Suppose then you can buy it. The current value is 0 Ethereum, 0.0006 or $0.02. And see, in 5 months, how its value is increasing. So it's when it started off, it started with it was sold for this much, $0.02, right? And now the current worth is this much. In 5 months, this is the value from where it has come. So it's from 0.002. So its unit price today is this much. So cost increases. The value of every digital assets increases with time, right? So whatever you have, you can go and sell here. There are many more websites like this where you can sell your NFTs, whether it's music, animation, just real world photography or the digital art that you have created. Then you can also send domain names. For example, when uh, you talk about late 90s or early 2000s, not every business had a website. So it was a very big business at that time. I remember I was studying in college. For example, now every business has a website. For example, if I have a small business with name Trendsetter, just giving you an example. So the domain name of it was already sold, and when I wanted this domain name, what I had to do is I have to pay a heavy amount to get back my own domain name, right? So similarly today you can buy domain names in metaverse. So they when they bought this domain name, it must be of 100 rupees, 500 rupees, but when they sold to the original company, it was sold in lakhs, and if not thousands, right? Many thousand or even in lakhs. So that was a good investment. Similarly, in metaverse today, you can buy domain names so that later, when it becomes widespread, you can sell it maybe in 2030, as we saw. Then you can create your own music and sell it as make it an NFT. You can make your social media content like TikTok videos or whatever reels you make. You can make it as NFTs and then you can sell it. These are the website async async music where you can sell your music. Even if you make a small dhun, right? You can go and sell it there. Then here you can suppose you have made a reel. You can go and sell it here. Make it an NFT. You can visit that website and see how its value is. It's a Instagram reel where you there's a TikTok reel, there's a YouTube video that you are going and selling in NFT as a making it NFT and selling it on metaverse. Then you can capture your special moments in sports and then sell it off. So own your first NBA NFT. So suppose you went for a cricket match, and then you can create an NFT. You like one particular moment very much, so you can take that video shot and then sell it as a NFT here, and then you can get a huge amount. Then your virtual tickets, for example, if you are hosting a marriage, you can ask, you can create a, you are doing a concert, you are doing a comedy show, so you can create a virtual ticket and sell it as an NFT in metaverse, right? Then we know what is HTTP. uh, ठीक है, there are several websites and we link each website using HTTP protocol. We create hypertext. Similarly, if you see, we can also, if two people are having metaverses, so there's the protocol uses MHTTP, metaverse hypertext transfer protocol. So if you see, this is a forest metaverse and this is some other metaverse. So if my avatar goes here and I want to quit this metaverse and go into another, so to connect these two metaverse, we will use MHTTP protocol. So the avatar will come here and go into this, and so that avatar will now be a part of the forest metaverse and will leave this metaverse. So the small window comes as we used to see in Doraemon. So now this has become reality in metaverse, right? So you can go and inside this and have a totally different experience. So as sitting at home in the virtual world, you can roam here and there. So I would also like to show some. Okay, it's already 12:55. I think I should better go for now queries. uh, I told you about how we can earn. Anything else that you yes, sir, any queries coming from the users? Or else, Acha, when talking about buying cryptocurrencies, I would this is the one major query that I get every time. Whether we should buy cryptocurrencies or not, we should invest in metaverse or not. See, the future is unpredictable. Nobody knows. But if you see the trend, the cost of bitcoins, and many of our students have already invested in. And one of my students told me that he has a bitcoin of say 35,000 rupees, and today its value is above 1 crore. So it's a very risky investment. And but buying it or not, see, what will you do, how will you invest? For example, um, if you buy in bitcoins with those cryptocurrencies, or not just bitcoins, any cryptocurrency, if you have, you can buy something in the metaverse. You can go for shopping, and if you want to buy, for example, if you have an avatar, you want Nike shoes for your avatar, you can buy that Nike shoes with those cryptocurrencies. Okay, if there's a virtual concert and you want to go to that concert, again, you can buy tickets using those cryptocurrencies. mm, right? So and people are going there, people are, and more than millions of people are buying those tickets even today. I'm not talking about something 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. Many people are attending virtual concerts and events happening on the metaverse, and companies like Nike are already doing such events there. So as we said, we had an Australian sports event there, right? So although it's risky, but I think yes, you should go for it. But since it's risky, so not big amount but little bit. So as we have a diversified portfolio, some amount of currency should be invested there, and I'll share the links in the chat box so that these are very good links. This will help you, and you can also see this how to double and builder. These are the two no coding tools to build a metaverse application. You can explore this. Let's me double. Okay. So this is builder.io. Then there are free websites to create your avatars. You can just upload your picture. Even Canva does that. And uh, when you create an avatar, you can make your avatar enter into metaverse created by some other person, say, right? So any other query?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your insights and expertise on the topic of metaverse. Your presentation has provided us with valuable perspective and ideas. So now I'd like to welcome Mr. S.K. Abdul Rahim Shah, HOD of CAC Department, for query session.
Madam, just I have a few questions. If a crime occurs in metaverse, hello,
Hello? Yes, sir.
yes, just a minute. Madam, if a crime occurs in metaverse, should real world laws apply or should we create new virtual laws for that?
So there are laws, and there are social media lawyers also who
Yeah, yeah.
guide us. Yeah, yes, sir.
And some another questions in the metaverse, if you buy virtual property with cryptocurrency, so
Yes, sir.
can you resell it for a profit in the real world without paying real
No, no,
world taxes?
no. Metaverse may whatever you are buying, it's only applicable there in the metaverse. For example, somebody has already bought Taj Mahal, so you can't, and that person can't come here in the real world and claim that Taj Mahal is his or her own property. So, see, why are we buying or property here in the real world? Same is the case within metaverse, because we buy property to suppose if we are if you see if you want to if you want to have a website, you must have some server space. You buy that server space or you take it on rent, right? Similarly, you are buying property, you are buying plots or land spaces in metaverse. So you can either create your own app, you can create a shopping mall there, game experience. So whatever you want to create an application, you need space, and then you can that at that time you will need that space, even that domain name. So that is why people are investing. And the cost of these lands are already in millions there in metaverse. So it is not just 100 or $200, it's already there in millions. So see, in a country like ours, so Mark Zuckerberg, then in our country, Reliance has tied up with Mark Zuckerberg to build more metaverse applications. So definitely, there is future, and this investment will not go in vain. So you can always go and buy property, so that next time you can have your own application or give it on rent to somebody else. Right?
Okay, madam, another more question. Suppose if somebody blocks you in the metaverse, do you still exist in their world or have you been erased from their digital perception?
So erase from digital world. Yeah, not erase from digital world, but from their own application.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Santanu sir, any questions from your end?
Next time we could have a practical session where we could build one application and see how it works in just a small application in Unity and Builder. So because there are no code tools, so everybody could enjoy, even if they are not from computer science backgrounds. So you can give this assignments to your students, because it is easy and it is very interesting, and they can also help you to make some applications so that you can use it for teaching purposes also in the classroom.
Yes, madam, on behalf of Bengal College of Engineering and Technology, heartiest welcome to you.
Thank
In
you.
spite of your busy time schedule, you have given your time. Thank you so much. I think all the participants will be really very much, they will be benefited. And next time when we'll try to organize you, Santanu sir definitely will contact with you. You please give your valuable time, then we will be benefited. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much, madam.